I don't normally let this room get messy.
Hi guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Melinda, plain and simple.
It's Tuesday, and that means it's time for another Tiny Tidy. And for today's Tiny Tidy, I am going to be in my family room, tidying up a little mess that has accumulated over a period of time. And normally, and I think I say this during the video, but normally I don't let this room get messy, but because I'm in the midst of my flooring project, which is currently on hold, and because I'm having those little problems with my hip and my back, which, by the way, I am going to physical therapy now, and the physical therapist said that he thinks that we can get this taken care of so that I don't have to have any more extreme measures, which would really be wonderful. But because of that, I have found that I am not tidying up after myself like I normally do. And so I had a couple of times of the physical therapy, and I've been doing my physical therapy at home. And so I felt like, hey, I want to clean this up. I felt like doing it. And I started to do it, and then I realized, wait a minute, I need to share this with you guys because maybe some of you have experienced this as well as I have. But what I found was that as I've been going through this, I keep feeling that thing of, just let it be, and not having the motivation of a clean and tidy room to get me to keep cleaning it up, but also just falling back into those old patterns and just thinking, I'll do it later. And so I realized that was happening to me, and I didn't want that to be happening to me. And so I wanted to purposely not let it happen to me. I'm just trying to like think my way through it. But then when I couldn't physically do it the way that normally I could, I was still getting the mess. And so what I realized is, you've probably heard that thing of clutter attracts clutter. But what I realized is that it also affects our mindset. And so having the mess around me was pulling me back into the old thinking patterns, and so I was just leaving the stuff where it was, partly because of the physical thing, but it was becoming partly mental as well, like that mindset thing. And so I realized that I need to guard against that. And even though I'm having the physical things, I need to do as much as I can do. Even if I can't do it all, I need to get as much of it done as I can. And on the days when I'm feeling good enough, and the times when I'm feeling good enough, then I need to make sure that I am taking care of those things so that I don't end up falling backward and ending up with a bunch of stuff down the road that I have to deal with and tackle. Now, sometimes we can't help it. Sometimes things happen. We get sick. Just life happens, and we can't help it, and we have to get back into it. But what I'm saying is, I recognized that it wasn't just the situation that was affecting me getting things done. It was also affecting my mindset, and that, to me, was a danger zone. That's a signal, and it's a place that I don't want to go back to. And so I have to make sure that I don't do that. I'll have a link to the playlist in the description box below, so you can check out all the other Tiny Tidies this week. And I'll have a link to Sunday Dawn's channel, The Helpful Home. She is the host of Tiny Tidy Tuesdays every week. And in case you don't know, Tiny Tidy Tuesdays is an open collab. So if you do videos and you would like to be included, just let Sunday Dawn know, and she will get you on the playlist. So for now, grab your stuff and come on, and let's do this together. This is what used to happen around my house. I would have a mess, and I would just leave it, and I wouldn't tidy up after myself. But since I've been decluttering, I've been picking my stuff up. But lately, I have not been doing that. And so that is what I wanted to share with you guys today, because it kind of seemed to me that even after all of this going through things and decluttering and getting my mindset and trying to get into the good habits and all that stuff of tidying up after myself, all it took was me just not being 100%. Well, 100% for me. I just was not able to keep up with what I was doing. And so I was getting this mindset. I was finding myself thinking, oh, well, I'll just leave the dishes till tomorrow. I did not do that. I did not allow myself to do that. But I've been doing that with this area here. And I'm having a hard time talking and doing this at the same time because I'm not sure that I don't have something personal and private on here. And I don't want to show things I don't intend to. But I'll just show you kind of what I've got here, and then I'll clean it up, because just in case. But a lot of times I'll get, my food or something while I'm working here, because I brought this in here instead of going and working in my office. I pulled this in here, and I've been working in here when I'm editing my videos and stuff. And so I've just been leaving this all the time. Well, I had been tidying it up every day, but lately, like I said, I haven't been. And so this is the book that I am still working on reading. This is a pad that I had so that when I have a poem and I'm writing it down, I can do that. And then I have to take them. I found I can go downstairs in the basement and do the recording of my poems. But then I'm plopping the papers here on the table, especially if I didn't already type them into the computer. But I can't carry the computer downstairs to do the reciting. So even if they're in the computer, I have to write them on a piece of paper so I can take that downstairs. So I have all of these things on here. And the napkins are because I have a terrible habit of grabbing another one. And I'll have them with my plate and stuff. Now what I do is I use these to clean with, and after that, so that I'm not being ridiculously wasteful. But this is something that I do all the time. And you can see, all I did was have it underneath my plate. Probably didn't even use it for nothing else. Yeah, but I mean, I have a terrible habit of doing that. I don't do that when I am on top of my game. But I do that, I'm finding, when I am not. And right now, I am not. This is all stuff that I would be using here, but normally I would be tidying it up. These are some things that I've written things on, like ideas and poems and stuff. And I'll just go in my computer, make sure those things are actually in there, and then those can go into the recycle bin. And these are some papers, just things I've been, writing things on, and just random stuff in here. So all of that can go into the recycle bin. And that is my thing I heat up sometimes when I need a little heating pad thing. I use that. These are things that I use with the computer. Here I have, these are the things that came when we got our washer and dryer, still laying here on my table. And then I also have some important papers that I need to file, also still laying on this table. And look at this stack of napkins. This gives you an idea of how long I have been doing this. Like I would kind of tidy it up, put it right here, but it just started spreading all over, and it was like, this is how many days I have not been picking up and putting away things. And then these are the things that normally are in a little desk in my office. They go along with my stuff I do for Buy Nothing. And again, here's the book that I have been reading. And I was using this, I think, to clean my phone off, get the fingerprints off of my phone, because, you don't want your camera being all yucky dirty. So now I'm going to put all of this stuff where it goes. And now the only thing on my table is my computer. And I use that every day, and it is kind of more convenient to have it in here in this room right now than in my office. So I'm okay with leaving that there. But you may have noticed that white thing that was on the table here. I put that there a few weeks ago, but what I'm finding is that I wasn't realizing it, but what it's doing is inviting me to put things on the table there. And so I decided I just need to remove that so I can stop that invitation coming into my brain. And that is my tiny tidy for this Tuesday. Let me know in the comments what you're tidying up around your house. And for now, I'll say happy decluttering. Things get even messier when things get messy. If you leave it there, it messes with your mind. The longer that it sits, the more you're tempted just to quit. And pretty soon, you're in a clutter bind. So If you look around and lots of clutter can be found, pick yourself up fast and pick it up. Otherwise, you'll be regretting all the clutter you're forgetting and the effort it will take to clean it up.
There's my bubby. Did you get your tiny tidy done? Did you get your tiny tidy done today?